Isn't the shotgun across the river from that?
Oh, sorry. Tommy gun.
Hmm.
No, wait, no. Shotgun wasn't across the river. That was the. Oh no, sorry. You're right. This is the Tommy gun guard. I forgot the shot. No, you're right. Yeah. Yeah. So you think you see the shotgun across the river, along with the fat guard who would have the keys, and this one who must have had the Tommy gun. You can't. The Tommy gun isn't on this person at least.
We should probably search the immediate area if we can't. If it's just, I ask Loomis, or I ask Bleeder, as I would know him. Just so it's not the chains themselves. We can tamper with them. It's just, the shackles that are around us that are the problem. They'll heat up.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can interject. So
Yeah.
yes, absolutely.
So
Yep.
if we just find some way to break the chains, that might be a holdover.
Right. Yeah. That should work.
Well, they're pretty tough, but if we can't get across the river, then we at least have that option.
All right, but so if you're searching the immediate area, I'm gonna have each of you roll wisdom. In that case.
Be wise.
Failure. Another failure.
Nice.
Wow.
All right, so y'all are looking around. It's slow going, so you keep on looking, thinking you see something, and instinctively step towards it and pull on the chains, cause a bit of a pileup. It's slow goings, just with how tied together you are. But you keep at it for a while, a good 10-15 minutes. At this point, you're pretty sure, okay, it must have been a very short storm, and the sky's getting darker now. Like, nighttime is approaching. You hear whistles on the other side of the river, and further upstream, maybe on your side, maybe on the other. Like, people whistling for dogs. You hear faint distance of dogs barking.
Oh no. Oh, that ain't good.
Oh,
We should probably book it.
We can't. All right. Yeah. We'll book it as fast as we can do in. Well, this.
So, where do you just go straight into the woods away from the river, or do you continue downriver?
is there any way that I could get my bearings? Can I tell which direction is north?
Well, okay, so the river, you can tell which way the river is flowing, and, looking at more, so you know that this is a westward flowing river, so based off of that, upriver is where you hear more of the, so both upriver to your, east, Jesus Christ, is where you hear a lot of the whistles, and you guys are on the northern shore. And you also hear whistles and dogs barking to the south. So to the south and to the east, you hear whistles and barking.
We're gonna have to push it as far west as we can.
Yeah, now if I'm remembering my geography, we go west, we're gonna hit another river.
That's the point. You don't know how far downriver you are at all. You have no clue.
And that's also like the direction of the penitentiary. It's on the other side of the river, but still that direction.
We take it west, hit the river, push it north.
Yeah, and if we go far enough,
I don't think we
I know
have
a
time
small
to
town.
I don't think we have time to discuss this. I think we should just go west.
Yeah. Let's go.
Let's go.
We go.
All right, so you guys head west, heading along the riverbanks. It's fairly slow going. With your chain, or slower than if you weren't chained together, and you're wading through mud. This whole area around the river has been flooded, and it is all muddy. Lots of branches. The upside, though, is surely if it's slow for you, it will hopefully be also slowing your pursuers down somewhat, though they may not be chained. All three of you roll dex for me, please.
Have I been punished enough?
Huzzah.
Hey!
Ooh, all right. So for the
More
most part,
XP.
you're making pretty good time. Loomis, he is the oldest of the party. He's not cut out for both of the chains weighing him down and slogging through this mud. Fairly frequently he's like, falling or tripping or getting stuck in the mud, and you guys have to like pull him out, and it's slowing you down. Otherwise, you guys are navigating the mud in your chains pretty well.
Sorry, boys. I ain't got the legs for this anymore.
No, it's alright, it's looking like you're wanting to go back to prison.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Frank just doesn't say anything. He's too busy focusing on trying not to trip over anything.
But so you certainly the whistles and barking don't sound any closer, though they haven't really gotten any further away, which means they are pursuing you. Or at least still, moving further in a westward direction, looking for, survivors and bodies and escapees and the like.
Just gonna say, I'm starting to bank on on the fort that they'd think no prisoner would be too stupid to flee west towards the prison.
You guys could also do a discern realities too on.
Who wishes to do that?
Sure, we'll do it.
Just throwing that out there. All right, you get one question.
Uno momento, por favor. What here is useful or valuable to me?
So, one thing so these guards, obviously these people are there was a crash they're investigating, prison guards and the like. You're looking around and something significant, I guess, something that it's useful to keep in mind about your environment that maybe should have rolled this a bit earlier. You guys have been dragging yourselves, your change, wading through thick mud, this whole way, which leaves pretty noticeable tracks that you've been leaving for the past, half mile or so you've been going along here.
So we didn't at any point while doing this get an opportunity to get anywhere with land that would not leave tracks.
Well, if you're headed west along the river. All along the river is going to be mud. Like, this whole area is soaked in mud.
Alright, let's adjust and go northwest.
For about, a little bit. Like, between a quarter and a half mile, we'll say. But so as you go, and, you've been discussing, been looking around, the mud's hanging up Loomis, you're leaving tracks, and like as you're discussing this, suddenly you hear like a volley of whistles and like dogs howling from back where you were.
Right, we need to get off this mud. Just figure out some way to stop leaving marks, stop leaving tracks.
Yeah, let's get to it.
I mean, so yeah, like if you look north, like into the woods, like after, the ground should solidify more. It's still pretty muddy even just into the woods, but once you've gone a ways in, even what's there, the ground's at least more solid, easier to cross, even if your feet are still sinking for a while. Immediately. We'll also say the other side of the river at this point seems to be kind of sheer, like it's almost rocky. It might not be as muddy, it seems to be raised a bit, but the river is still running fast. It's deeper and wider at this point than it was where you started, and it's a pretty steep cliff on the other side, on the shoreline, on the bank. What do you do? How do you proceed? There are also quite a few felled tree branches around you. I'll throw that out too.
Just throwing that out.
I guess we want to try walking on them to conceal our tracks in some fashion, even though we'd probably be tracking mud, and that wouldn't get us terribly far, I imagine.
How long are the tree branches or poles? Or...
All right, here we go. Most of the branches are, you know what? I'll just have you guys roll a 2d6 for me. We'll make this a bit more
Alright.
balanced. Ooh, all right. So, it's mostly pretty small branches.
Oh, wait, are we
Yeah.
all rolling or?
Oh, I was just gonna have one. You know, we'll go with the 8 though. This will work. So there are lots of smaller branches lying around, you know, with lots of leaves on them and the like, but not something that's really, you know, big. But you do see a bit of a ways forward. There is a felled tree sticking into the water. That goes all the way pretty far into the woods. And it also stretches into the river a ways too.
So, what you guys feel in water or woods? Because I don't know if I'd want to even try a swim in these conditions.
Yeah, I'm not feeling like getting wet again. Still drying out.
Right, let's go try and get into the woods. Lose them there.
How thick is the woodland? Is it very much just sort of flat plains and trees everywhere? Or
You can walk through it without too much trouble. Yeah.
Is there a kind of hilly area, mountainature?
Not mountains or anything like that. There's a bit of a roll. There are a lot of little gulches and valleys and individual rises and hills, but not like dramatic hills or anything. Let's see if I can get a good picture of what you guys might be looking at. Okay, here we are. Perfect. If I can copy and paste that. This is more or less what you're looking at when you look into the woods.
Yeah, we could chance that.
Oh yeah, that's definitely better.
So, are you guys just going straight into the woods? How are we doing this? Are we doing anything sneaky?
I imagine we're going to use those branches to kind of walk and stop leaving mud tracks at this stage as we kind of divert. I don't think it would be a real brain buster for them to realize, oh, the tracks stop here and branches, but it might buy us any measure of time.
All right, so just sort of walk across the branches and whatnot. Trying to think if I should even bother making you roll for that. Probably not. I don't have anything interesting if you fail that. Yeah, we'll just say you can. It's not worth trying to hash that out. So yeah, you're able to sort of like shuffle along using the branches to distribute your weight, or even just hide what tracks you do make under the foliage, under the leaves. Make your way into the woods. The sun's going down a bit, and who's gonna take the lead? Who has the best sort of night vision? Would you say?
It'd probably
Best
be.
night vision.
I mean, we're all humans, so just in terms of.
Yeah,
I
don't know.
know.
Like, any of you good at dealing with the night? Any of you, accustomed to the dark?
I'd
I'd
say
say
prob-
me out of
I'd say-
everyone.
yeah, okay. It would probably
Or
be
you
either
say?
two of us because my character's history in that, but and
You
being
have
the
those
youngest.
like buggy eyes.
I mean, those are good in the light too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you're gonna. This is a bit of a different challenge. You're making your way through and for the most part, the woods aren't too dense, but there are still branches. It is dark. It's hard to see. let's do let's actually do a sort of mini. Would this be a mini perilous journey? Let me. Because it's not, you wouldn't need rations at this point or anything like that. Yeah. All right. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna have you do a sort of mini perilous journey with no quartermaster roll. Just someone roll for scout, which is like keeping an eye out, looking for pitfalls, branches, that sort of thing, and a navigator, someone sort of guiding you guys, taking a lead.
What's your intelligence and wisdom, Linz?
I got a -1 int and a 0 on my wisdom.
I've got 0 intelligence, 1 wisdom. So this isn't great either way. There's gonna be a. Should we just go for 2 zeros or? All right.
Isn't it on both jobs wisdom?
If it depends on what rule set we're using.
Oh, I was assuming. Yeah, that's a point. I was assuming Perilous Wilds.
I don't have that.
I'm trying to find Perilous Wilds to open.
It's should just be in the Dungeon World folder on the Dropbox.
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
It's in it's in expansion content. Actually, no, it's not. What?
Yeah, I'm not saying it.
Alright, I'm gonna put a copy of it in there. There should be one there now.
Weird. Oh yeah, it's syncing. Alright, yeah. Wait. There it is. Yep. Alright, Perilous Wilds.
But essentially, I think maybe I should navigate and you should scout. That way, your wisdom was the one that was a 0, correct?
So
Yeah,
I've got good intelligence if we need like an intelligence stat.
I mean, you could then handle in the navigation check.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're going to be guiding you guys where you're going, and whoever's rolling whiz is like, actually looking directly in front of you, trying to navigate through these dark woods.
I'll do scout then. I'll roll whiz. So I got a 1 in it. That might do a solid, or it might kill us.
Ooh, could have been worse.
Alright, let's roll that whiz and see what we get.
Nice.
Ooh.
Great.
So.
You've killed us.
I didn't kill us, the dice killed us.
Alright, and let me look at navigate. Alright, so. You guys are navigating pretty much alright, Oh, GM chooses 1 from the list below. All right, here we are. So you're making your way through the woods, and you're not making the best time. It's getting dark fast, and like these shady trees make it really hard to see in the dark. And there are lots of just weird little branches twisting out. You get caught by moss on your way through, and the noise of barking dogs, and whistling. Even you can hear distant yelling occasionally. Is growing louder and louder. And now it's starting to. At first, it was in one direction. Now it's starting to be a bit more pervasive around you as time goes on, as it gets into the night. Even in the distance, you can occasionally see the flicker of torchlight. And ooh, that is a failed scout roll. That's not good. So, at one point. We'll be it was a 9 on it, and so we'll be a bit nice about this. You're going, and you don't see any lights around. You're going through. You're pretty sure you're safe from guards. All of a sudden, you hear something big moving near you. A big crash. like you, and some sort of indistinct movement in the darkness, rushing towards you rather quickly.
Uh-oh.
That no good.
Are there bears in this state by any chance?
It could be.
So, if it's a bear, I'm curious what the nasty option was instead of the nice option, but... I guess... I don't want to push my luck, but if we hear that coming towards us, I'm gonna roll a discern realities check.
Yeah.
Discern realities.
Turns out, Cormac's not very wise.
Amazing.
Well, you're getting a shit ton of XP.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna level up.
I know.
I'm gonna level up to a corpse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, y'all are.
I don't discern anything either.
Amazing.
So, yeah, we're gonna all right. Cormac, you're on the left. All of a sudden, a large shape, as it just crashes into, it's heavy, it's sort of damp, furry. Defy danger.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and dodge, which might be tricky with
Take a
people.
-1.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
shit. All right. Yeah, I did. By the way, that did have the shaky modifier on it. I might wish to add.
So, yeah, it like crashes into you, but you roll out of the way without it doing any real harm. But whatever it is, it's pretty heavy and it's hairy.
It's hairy and heavy. Bleeder, you got Bleeder, big thing. I've got it just shouting across over Magnus. I want your knife.
What? I'll spell lore on it. Let's see if we can identify this fucking thing.
Go ahead. 9. You know, there aren't any bears that would be around here that would be this aggressive this time of year.
All right.
Well,
This behavior doesn't make sense for a bear. It's probably not a bear.
It's not a bear. And you asked for the knife? Was that it?
I just shouted. You don't have to comply with that because we're on opposite ends of Magnus, and I just got attacked by large things. So I'm just shouting, "I want a knife," which, you know.
Hold on. I'm gonna do a different spell lore check, but this time on its like anatomy. Like, what does it look like? What about it?
I think okay, no, this would be discern realities, trying to get a better look at it. I'm gonna say it's hard to see. It's sort of, you know, just in the light levels, it's basically just an indistinct, you know, shape. If you're trying to get an idea of its anatomy, that's discern realities.
Oh, because my skill is when you successfully spout lore about an anatomy, your damage becomes D10.
Oh, right. No, you're gonna have to identify what this thing is before you can.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, well, wait. We're all. Oh yeah, we're changing. So, I slip Magnus the knife and say, "Pass it on."
we play a game of hot potato and it ends up in Cormac's hands.
Yeah. So
All right.
It's,
So as
it's
you're doing this,
Hand
this
and
thing
precise.
rears up. It's taller than any of you, and you see a big, thick, arm like reach up. Well, it does sort of look like a bear, you know, big like sort of clawed arm reach up into the air. Probably gonna strike soon. No, we're not defying danger yet, but you know.
yeah,
act quickly.
I'm trying to control the group from the left, which is hard. I'm basically like I'm kind of barging Magnus to try and put a tree between us and it, essentially.
Gotcha.
Get a little bit of cover. I'm not asking, hey, we gotta go over this way. I just no shoving. Go this way.
How long is the chain between us?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. How much freedom of
How much slack have we got?
You would have about 1.5 feet, roughly. Not a lot. Enough that you can't, like, run at a full clip. Unless you have really good synchronization.
We should have been practicing our just hup, but we didn't. Didn't have time to think about that.
Oh shit! My fucking
So we maybe just got. We maybe. Maybe. Hey, this is a dumb thought, but maybe depending on how strong this thing is and how dexterous we're feeling.
This is exactly what I'm thinking right now. But I'm trying to determine what kind of defy danger check that would be.
Yeah, break the chains with this thing attacking us.
Well, so as you're backing up, it, steps towards you and sort of brings what seems to be its claw down at you, violently.
Yeah,
defy danger.
That'd be it.
Who's defying danger in this scenario?
Cormac, you're still the closest to it.
Alright, could I try for this? Because he just yelled it to me. I wish we should be hating each other right now, but besides... can I try and get away? Could I try? We don't have bonds, essentially. We could still roll it to be a straight toss. Yeah, it'd be rolling +0.
But so what are you trying to do?
Pull each other apart in such a way that it would strike the chain.
Both of you roll a, both of you roll dex, defy danger dex. Actually, I take that back. So you can choose to one of you has to defy danger dex, the other can choose to defy danger strength, con, or dex, depending on how you justify it.
Which one's doing the dodging? I got a 2 in dex, so I should probably do the dex check.
I've got a 2 in dex as well, so...
Oh, yeah, you can both, like, just dodge to either side.
Let's hope and pray.
Oh!
Okay, so you do both successfully avoid the claw. Neither of you get hit with it. Its claw does just come down on the chain connecting you two hard, and basically just, like, yank the chain down, jerking you two together and knocking your heads into each other.
Here,
let's. This isn't good. Take 1 damage each.
Thanks.
Great.
Nice.
Oh.
Alright, so and this thing lets out a big sort of roar, bellow type noise. Doesn't sound like a bear at this point, but some sort of animalistic roar.
Okay.
Can I try to spout more on that?
Okay.
Nope.
Can I try and stab it?
Yes.
This is really bad, because I'm gonna get a move eventually where all bladed weapons become dex. But I don't have that yet, and I've got shit
Yeah,
strength.
that thing's precise. My
Nope,
scalpel's precise.
Scalpel's precise.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Let's try our luck. Okay, I'm gonna roll damage, and we'll see what comes.
Was that 9, your roll?
Yes.
Oh, weird. I didn't see that pop up. That was weird.
I am gonna... I'll ask that after the game, actually, but for now, I might get my answer sooner than expected.
Wow.
9 damage, yeah.
Oh, wow, I forgot you have a D10. Okay, so yeah, describe your attack.
Essentially, so it yanks us together, but I imagine that also... It does pull us together. It also means we're both kind of above the thing, because it just pulled us down and together. So just after we conquer ourselves, I just see the appendage that did this, and I just, with whatever movement I get, just jam the scalpel into it and just start cutting. Just start pulling the knife here and there.
Alright, and this is on a 9. So, here's a question. Alright, well, no, so yeah, here we are. You do cut into it, but, with it taking it back, it yanks you. It screams out with like a loud just scream of anguish. And in yanking back, sort of like still holding the chain, yanks all three of you sort of back with it, unsteadying you off your feet, and you're now very close to it. It immediately swipes back at you again, Cormac, with its other free hand. Defy danger -1 forward. You've been thrown off your balance.
Okay. I want to do something other than just dodging, but with something this strong, I don't... Unless I can think of something... I can't think of anything else immediately, so I'm just gonna keep dodging. So, yeah, with limited mobility, I try and pull us down, essentially, down and out the way. I'm not sure if down is the correct... What's its swipe,
Yeah.
just for... Okay.
Yeah, this is sort of a haymaker.
Okay, yeah, so duck. Yeah. Let's go for it.
Yeah.
No.
Ooh, no. This thing's just smacks you on the side of the head. You feel a big gash sort of on the right side of your face, cuts through your ear, probably gonna leave a pretty bad mark. Or this 4 damage. Oh, that should have been DM roll. Yeah, 4 damage, and this thing leaves a mark on the side of your face.
Scarred?
No, don't mark scarred, but you know, just like it's a gash. You know, you're bleeding from the side of your face.
Okay.
Really bad. It's quite painful.
Cormac, just kind of in his head right now, you know, he is whatever part of him is thinking this through, just thinks, we have no chance of outrunning this thing, so best bet is right through. He's not going to communicate this to the 2 people shackled to him, but he does just kind of scream and charge, essentially, as much as he can. Like, he's just going to go with the scalpel. Like, the only way we're going to live through this is if I kill it. Or if I scare it off, at the least. You know?
Alright,
So...
Use the chains! Use the chains! And he rattles his arm. Like...
You do have those chains.
On the chains on my side, so... Hang on, let me think. The chains that are on the side that I am not, bound to anyone else.
So you have chains connecting your ankles to each other, so like you have about 1.5 foot between your ankles and your wrists. So your wrists are connected by about 1.5 foot of chain, and then your right wrist is connected to Margrave's left wrist. Margrave's right wrist is connected to Loomis's left wrist.
Okay.
And with like a chain, you know, it's just like one chain going across all your wrists.
I see. So he's saying use the chain. What does that leave me with?
Choke it!
Choke it. Okay, well, that's going to require all of us. We're going to have to get around and in circle rather than being in front, but hey...
You can have all 3 of you are directly in front of it, and you can,
Alright, hey, if we want to go for this big team action and try and get the thing and choke it, yeah, let's try. Yeah. Let's do it.
Who wants to, so 2 of you are gonna, you know, roll aid, interfere, and 1 of you is gonna do the actual attack. Who wants to do it?
I guess that would be a hack and slash, wouldn't it?
It would, yes.
Okay.
I should not be the one actually rolling the stat. I've got a -1 in strength, so I'm gonna aid.
We all have 8 strength.
Yeah.
No, I got 1.
Yeah. So, and you're in the middle. It makes sense. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna roll my aid or interfere. So straight 2d6. Yep. All right, you get a +1.
You do not get a +1.
All right, so roll strength +1.
Oh no! That's a 5.
So
I fucking eat it.
Yeah, the 3 of you in a coordinated effort lunge forward, try and get the chain around its neck, the other 2 sort of falling to its side, but this thing ain't having any of it. It's in a lot of pain. It's staggering around. It essentially sort of spins around and like twirls you off of it into a tree. Magnus, since you were in the center of that, gonna take You can either take D4 damage or marked stunned for the duration of this fight. How about that?
I'll take stunned.
All right, you are now stunned. So yeah, Magnus is, dizzied on his feet. He's been conked in the head pretty good.
Hey, does Magnus want the scalpel? I don't actually know if that's wise. I don't know who's best to handle a scalpel right now.
I think it's still you.
Okay.
It's either of us, really. We both got to.
Alright, so this thing, you can hear heavy, ragged breathing that sounds angry now. It lets out another furious bellow and sort of charges towards you on 2 feet again. This time right at Magnus, like a kick comes down directly towards Magnus's head, leaning against the tree. Defy danger.
It's drop kicking him?
Not drop kicking, just like an old-fashioned kick.
Like a stomp? Okay, whatever. I tried to dodge in a way that it would kick the tree.
Alright. Roll it.
Holy shit.
You try, but your dizzy reactions are slowed, and you feel
I fucking eat it.
a treaded boot just smashed directly into your face, like crushing your nose, slams your head against the tree.
Oh.
Oh. What the hell is this thing?
It's got
Right,
your other
damage.
shoe.
Yeah. Take 5 damage. And if you weren't stunned before, you certainly are now.
I'm stunned and winded now.
Can I try and swing back around? I say swing back around. He hit a tree, so I imagine we kind of got thrown about in that.
All 3 of you are sort of on the ground now, or at least half to the ground.
I want to try and just get back up and go for another attack with the scalpel, just a frenzied cutting at it.
Sure thing.
Yeah, let's go for it.
9.
9. All right, roll your damage.
Okay. Okay, I want to use my racial thing.
Ooh, all right. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna get a 1.
Don't jinx it.
Here you go.
Yeah.
5. There you go. Describe. All right. So describe your attack. What you're sort of doing to this thing.
So what position is it in? Is it kind of like jam? So he's on the ground and it's just kind of jamming his boot like into his face.
Yeah. Essentially. Yeah.
So he stood up. So and I'm on the ground as well. So
Yep.
My attack is kind of frenzied, essentially. I just kind of use whatever range movement I have to kind of get on one side and just jam the scalpel into its thigh. And this time it's not cutting. This time it's just repeated stabbing. I'm going for the thigh.
As it's just sort of grinding its boot into Magnus's face, it almost seems to ignore the pain. But then at one point, one of your stabs cuts through a tendon or something, and it's like just caves under it, giving out another anguished yell. At this point, it's on the ground, like just sort of crawling, hobbling, whimpering. Can't really. At this point, the fight's out of it. Like it's. Movements it's starting to teeter from side to side. Clearly is losing a lot of blood, and the fight is out of it at this point. It is very slowly whimpering, limping away.
At this point, can I identify what it is? Or can any of us?
You can roll discern reality.
I'll have a go at it. I'm going to say Cormac is in a bit of a blood frenzy at the moment, or just fight or flight response, but. With my 1 question, I'm going to look at the thing again. Let me look at the sheet again. God, if we've been playing this game for years and I don't know this table off the top of my head, just questions.
Shameful, really.
It is. I don't know which one of these questions will get me the information closest to what I'm gathering. So I'm going to go for the wild card. I'm going to go for one that might... Who's really in control here?
Who's really in control here? Well, now you are. This thing was in control for a while, but more than it's been around. Like this thing, you get the impression this thing was like hunting you. And you did turn the tables on it, and momentarily, you are in control. You can also just like go and investigate like closer at this. Like I said, the fight is out of it at this point. It's barely crawling along the ground.
Yeah, I just kind of looked at the group, and I hand the scalpel back to Loomis, and then I just try and, as much as we can in the state we're in, try and follow after it and see what the hell it is.
So yeah, it's crawling along the ground. As you get closer, you see it's wearing like, it kind of looks like a person. It's wearing boots and trousers and seems to almost be wearing like a bearskin over itself. Over its upper body. You can't see their face or torso under the bearskin as they're crawling along the ground, slower and slower.
Did we just kill Man Bear Pig?
I'm not sure what to
We've
make of this.
disabled it. We gotta get it on the run.
You do hear whistles. That screaming draw attention. You hear more and more barking, and you hear whistles. You even see what looks like to your south. You see what looks like flashlights or torches or something.
Yeah.
Drawing closer and closer.
Yeah. Okay. We're not sticking around to finish this thing off. We're going. That was, if we had the time, I'm just gonna say that would have been Cormac's course of action, is to put it out of its misery, but no.
We ain't got time.
And if it's alive, it probably doesn't have the wits left about it to point in our direction, but who cares?
All right, so give me some more dex rolls, or redo your perilous journey rolls. Essentially, you can change up your rolls, but another scout and navigate.
I've had bad luck before.
Am I still stunned?
No, your head is cleared after a bit as you're getting to your feet.
All right, I am gonna roll scout. Please give me better luck this time.
Hey, here's the navigate.
Ooh.
Oh.
All right. That's rough actually. That's really rough. All right, so scout ahead, choose one from the list below.
Oh, let me see the list.
I
gotta pull it up again. I don't have my copy.
Here, I can
Actually, hang on. Got a couple things to do. We can make all these handouts, but I do have images I should have sent you earlier, to be honest. Now I'm thinking about it, but
I mean, I posted.
Yeah. Just with what happened and the fact you're saying it's rough, I can't decide between beneficial aspect or get the drop. Probably get the drop based on what just happened, so we could avert it.
All right.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with get the drop.
All right. So, as you go through the wood, you guys have to slow down. You can't just be at a full chains rattling run. There are guards, sort of. There are people all around. There are flashlights about. So you're going a bit slower. You're going a bit more, cautiously, creeping now more. You get to a point where there's sort of a rise and there's a sudden drop. There's a slight cliff. And down at the bottom of the cliff, there's a guard who set down his torch sort of against the wall, and he's taken a leak against a tree.
Classic.
Yeah. You do see he has a he does have a revolver strapped to his hip.
Ooh.
How far down is this?
I would say you're about 1 story up, roughly.
Not a
it's enough that you could survive it. No, you could survive a jump without having to roll to not,
It's just the issue is if we jump down, we'll make a lot of noise,
but
and
not to avoid damage.
the issue kind of is should we just out and out avoid him, or should we try and No, we should
I
not.
think we all have the same thought here: is to
take him hostage,
Goomba
take
stomp
the
him.
revolver.
Stomp him, I was gonna say.
Oh, I wasn't thinking Goomstar, I was thinking jump. But
You are like he is like directly below where you guys are. If you want to just like try and Goomba him, just jump directly on top of him.
shall we do something so silly? Probably. I don't.
Probably. You still have the scalpel, don't you?
That's true. That's
Or no,
if he's
you-
not
you know-
unconscious post. Actually, okay. Let's Goomba stomp him. I have a follow up in case he's not knocked unconscious.
Yeah.
Before we do that, that sort of valley he's in, is it like a single path, or is it sort of just a
It's not even a valley. It's just like you guys are on a cliff. You think it was made like a tree fell ages ago, and the dirt sort of piled around it in such a way.
So it's just literally just a little bit of a rise then.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of rise that ends in a dramatic cliff.
Can I ask something just out of character, just kind of to affirm some in or out of character knowledge?
Sure.
You don't have to. Just the keys sort of things. Are they kind of generalized keys, like there would be a set that could think, or would it be a specific key to a specific set of chains?
You don't know for sure, but it's probably a specific key.
Okay, right.
You could try other keys. Like, it depends on how cheap. Because you know that the only reason it might be is this was a cheap prison, and they might have, like, tried to skip out on just, having one. But, I mean, for a prison, that's pretty,
I know. I'm not thinking it's, like, a smart thing for them to do, but I want to know, just for the sake of...
You could... If you can... But the other thing I would... Okay, let me put it this way. I'll let you roll for that. It'll probably be 1 in 3 shot of keys working. But just... You're also going to have to roll for this guard to have keys, and that is very unlikely. That this guard would, for some reason, be carrying keys to undo your shackles.
Got ya. But, just as we're getting further and further away from the guard who would have those keys, and he has probably been accounted for by this point.
Probably.
So, yeah, we've just kind of got to take what we can get. And for now, let's Goomba stomp this guy and just see what happens next.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so are you guys just gonna drop down on top of him?
Yep.
All of you will give me a dex roll. Ooh. Alright,
Oh, I rolled intelligence. Whoops.
Oh.
There we go.
Oh, well, yeah, there you go. Alright. What are your guys' damage dice, actually? 1 second.
I got a D6. Sorry, D8.
D10.
Ooh, yeah. Alright, so... Well, Elliot, I'm not raising your damage. Magnus, roll a D6. Elliot and Cormac, just roll your damage. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, the guard, like, just sort of yawning, taking a leak, is just, like, instantly crushed under you guys. Just doesn't make a sound.
Did we snap his neck?
It wouldn't be the first time I
Are you
unintentionally
guys
broke someone's-
avoiding killing him? Were you trying to make this non-lethal?
I was not aiming for lethality with this move. I
Or
know
were
it's a
you
surprise.
specifically aiming to not be lethal?
I was just aiming to drop on a dude.
Okay, if you're just aiming to drop on him with that type of damage, yeah, that was lethal.
Alright, well... yeah,
no,
if we
yeah,
could-
you like broke his spine like instantly. He's down to the count.
Well, if we couldn't afford to go back to prison before, that's a definite.
Now we've got murder.
Nothing new for me.
All right, so yeah, I'm assuming you loot his corpse. He does have a 6-shooter on him.
Alright, I imagine the guy with single action in his...
Yeah.
Nay, we'll go after that, so you can have that.
Yeah, I nick his holster and strap it to myself as best I can. Obviously,
That's gonna prove. You know what? This is
Okay,
it's
tricky.
Okay.
With shackles on, that's an easier syntax than done. Okay, like it's taking you a while to try and do this. You're probably going to be actually no. You know what? You just have to ask them for help with the shackles. You have to like ask them to help you, or with the holster and the belt. You have to get help to put it on. Can you swallow your pride and ask your friends for help putting on your belt?
We're more like acquaintances.
Hey guys, can you help me out here?
Yeah, sure.
There you go. Yeah, you got your holster on.
I grab as much ammo as I can physically carry, or if there's a more convenient way of carrying it around.
We'll just say there's, pretty typical 3 ammo.
I am gonna search this guy in the hopes of keys, because we've just established that in character
Roll a
knowledge,
D8.
Cormac isn't. Yeah, Cormac doesn't know, and he's optimistic.
No.
What tag should I give this 6-shooter? Do you have an idea on that?
Near. That's about it. Nothing else, but it's a pretty standard,
It's a revolver. It shoots things.
Yeah.
Ironically,
Not
it's a
high
double
caliber.
action.
No, fine.
Alright, so, that's about all of the value you really find on this guy. Oh, no, I take it back. He has a sort of torch flashlight thing, too. That's sort of facing the, cliffside.
Oh yeah, I'll take that one.
Alright, do you use it?
No, I keep it off right now.
Okay, keep it off for right now. Gotcha. Alright, if you guys want, in that case, there's nothing really else here, and you do hear more guards.
Yeah, let's.
Here's the question: do you hide the body?
Yeah, at the closest possible spot, anyway.
There is sort of a definite recess and cave there. There are some branches. It will take a little bit of time, but you can probably hide it pretty darn effectively.
Shall we take the time to hide this corpse?
Do we have time to hide it?
I don't think we have time. And we're already prisoners anyway, so...
Okay.
I vote...
Yeah, that's the point, I suppose. When he turns up missing, there's not going to be a lot of question about what happened to him, body or not.
And hey, maybe they'll take extra time investigating the body, and that'll give us a little bit more time.
There you go.
So yeah,
Practical thinking.
Ideas.
gonna have to go.
Yep.
Oh. Ideas?
No, I said that was an idea.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
All right. Roll those perilous journey. Roll one more time.
All right. Scouting time.
Oh, let's see. Can I navigate? Kind of.
Yeah,
Just
you
about.
can navigate. All right. Navigate. So, GM chooses one from the list below. Interesting. So, I'm gonna go with you make a discovery. So, as you're going through, you see there is 1 or 2 lights in the distance, but not from a flashlight, stationary. There's some window lights, a bit to the side, and more importantly, you find a barn. As you approach, it seems to be some sort of house. There's a bit of a clearing, and there is a barn, pitch black inside, next to it. As you make your way further into the woods.
A bar?
A barn.
Oh, a barn, right.
Alright.
You can hear what seems to be some sort of like music on the radio, seems to be faintly playing inside the house, pretty muffled, and then there's an abandoned barn to the right of it, at the edge of the woods. How do you proceed?
You said it's an abandoned barn?
a seemingly empty barn. All the lights are out. You can't hear any noise inside from animals or anything. There's no noise that you can hear.
It's gonna be the first place they check on the way here.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
The noise from the I will say that you have at least evaded the pursuit a bit more. The noise is fainter than it was earlier.
I'm just gonna say though, it might be worth not stopping in there, but passing through in case a banner. It might have a tool in it, just something,
Sure.
anything to get our hands on.
That doesn't sound like a bad idea.
That, and I should take a look at your guys' wounds. So yeah, I think we try to go into the barn.
All right, you do see a double-sided door, on your
Classic barn door. I have the revolver at the ready.
Yeah, and I'll try to just inch one of the doors open.
It doesn't immediately give. There's seems to be something blocking it. Might be some sort of latch. Doesn't seem too strong. You could probably kick it open if you want. That might make noise. You could discern realities. Actually, do that before I just give you all the information. Oh, someone else discern realities.
I'll give it a crack.
You discern.
Okay, there you go. Ask 3.
Okie dokie. So, what here is useful or valuable to me?
All right. There are some windows that do not appear to be latched shut. The shutters are sort of just hanging half closed.
Is that first story? I mean, I don't know how big this barn is, but is that?
Yeah. No, first story. Yeah.
Okay.
That is like.
What here is not what it appears to be.
The house. You hear the radio. You don't hear anyone else in the house though. You don't hear any noise or movements or anything like that. You're pretty sure it sounds like the house is empty.
Okay. And what should I be on the lookout for?
What should you be on the lookout for? Being caught out in the open for too long. You do hear noises, but I wouldn't just stay lollygagging around too long.
All right. I point out the windows and I say, let's just go for the windows. Pass through. Hope there's windows on the other side. If we see anything.
This is kind of weird. I don't like how that worked out. Whatever. Go ahead.
Go for the windows.
Right. Yeah. No, I just did something poorly on my end. It's fine.
Okay. Through the window. Be tricky to get all of this through a window.
Yeah. Who goes in first?
Probably me, because I'm navigating.
All right.
Dex in, I guess.
So yeah, when you pry open the window, the sort of shutters open with no resistance. It's just a clear window.
How do you fit 3 people that are chained together through a window?
I mean, it's a barn window, so it's not a tiny window. It's not high up either. It's about waist height. You can see a table with some straw on it just on the other side. Other than that, the barn's pretty dark. It's really hard to make out what's inside of it.
All right, so we going in the barn?
Yeah.
You're probably going to have to do it one at a time, hoist someone into the window, help the next person through, pull the next person up the chains and all.
I know this is a strange way of looking at it, considering if we're not rolling to do this, it is part of discern realities. You get +1 for acting on the answers, so could we use that in a narrative sense? To,
Dex to be stealthy and quiet.
Sure.
I'll let you. Yeah, you each take +1. Sure. Snake talked me into making you guys roll this.
I mean, I was angling for we're taking a narrative +1 to the result.
Oh, okay.
Is what I was saying, but...
No, fine, yeah. You guys go in. Yeah, fine, okay. I felt a little guilty. Yeah, you guys go in the window pretty. You go slowly enough that you're not rattling your chains around, but you're not making noise, and you manage to. The 3 of you sort of get in on the table. You can close the shutters behind you if you like. Probably make it even darker in there, but you get in pretty effortlessly.
I wanna do a quick search around the barn with the flashlight.
So I guess I am going to close the shutter As I'm the last one through, I imagine just
All
with
right,
the saboteur.
so
Yeah.
you
Good
close
idea.
the shutter, and Elliot turns on the flashlight, right?
Yep.
All right, so directly across from you see tables with lots of you do see a lot of tools and stuff like that. Where things it doesn't really seem to be a barn with any one specific use. Like there is hay, but there certainly weren't animals in here. You see a boat sort of propped up on the walls collecting dust, some chairs strapped to the ceilings, lots of rafters, with just stuff hanging in them, stuff like that.
What's
If
the
there's
state of the
Bolt
tools?
cutters, do you think we could cut the chains off?
That's
Well, okay, so that's immediately across from you. We still got room to discern here. Sort of pan it to the side. You see over on the far right, there's another set of doors. What look like the remains of a tractor, but it doesn't even have wheels on it anymore. Probably far from running. You pan the flashlight to the left. You see like a sink sort of in the far corner, and immediately to the left, standing directly on the other side of the window, shotgun trained on Cormac, is a woman. Shotgun cocked and ready to go, pointed at the three of you. Seems to
Nice.
be nervous, on edge.
Ooh. Can I defy
Mr.
danger with charisma?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, as soon as she had the flashlight trained up, or the shotgun trained on Cormac, as soon as you turn the flashlight on her, she brings it to be facing you.
All right. Yeah, I'll defy danger with charisma.
All right, she's not immediately shooting at you.
Yeah. So I look at her and I immediately put my hands up and say, "Excuse us, miss. We just need a moment." And I point to Cormac's face. And like he got it pretty hard, and we were just looking for some place where we could sit for a second and I could take a look at it.
That's all
know.
we need.
As soon as Cormac opens his mouth, she swings the gun to be pointed at you. I know who you is. You's trouble. You's who them boys out there is looking for, all up in the woods, scaring all the critters and such.
Yeah, and we won't bring this trouble to you, right? Or just let me take a look at his face and we'll be on our way.
You already brought trouble to me breaking into my private property. And she, shoulders the shotgun more aggressively in your face. Give me one good reason I shouldn't blow your brains out and collect that bounty from them there police.
All right. Do you want me to roll charisma again?
You can.
Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah. Fuck.
Oof.
It kind of clear my throat, right? Shuffle my feet.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, lady, you're right. We'll just we'll be on our way right now, all right? We won't spend no time here. We're just getting out. Come on, boys.
But no, okay, so she as soon as you try and move, she at this point puts the gun physically in your face, hard into your face. I see blood on you. Where that blood come from?
Magnus. Well, it would be your face, but Magnus kind of points to Cormac's face,
Yeah.
where it's just kind of bleeding, just down.
And I'm like, you see, he hit a branch pretty hard, cut him pretty deep. And my friend here, I'm pointing at your busted nose because you got the boot to the face.
Yeah.
We slid down a slight hill. And my friend here took a good one to the face, right into a tree.
All right. Ooh, that was a.
May I ask a question?
Yes, you can ask a question.
What species is this woman?
Oh, I forgot to say she's an elf. She is an elf woman. She has dark hair. She's wearing a green flannel shirt, sort of tied at the elbows. She has her sort of dark brown hair tied back in a ponytail. I know you roll charisma again for those lies you told.
Oh. We're just gonna keep going like this.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna. Alright, I'm gonna ask a question, and you two are gonna hate me, but I don't know. I'm feeling this. It's path.
This is
If
becoming
with
more
the shot,
trouble than it's
with her current attention fixed on Loomis, if I were to do a cold shot, could we consider her surprised or defenseless at range?
Okay, no, not at range, because she is like in your face. I mean, maybe
she's
if she was solidly at range, but the fact that she's like, she is within hand distance
of all of us.
Well, she
and
pointed
you
the
guys
gun
can-
in his face.
Yeah.
Well, it's my okay. It's not Loomis's face. It's my face.
No. It's Loomis's face, but I mean, the three of you are like right next to each other. I mean, okay, maybe close for you, but even so, that's close.
All right. Well, I was just kind of thinking of the thing of at range as throwing a scalpel.
No. Okay. Well. Okay.
But, yeah.
Don't. No.
I wasn't gonna kill her with that. I was just gonna buy us
We're
distance.
going to go this route because this is starting to seem a little bit untenable.
All right. Well, here. First, we need a. All right. So you mostly succeed. She doesn't necessarily believe your lies, but she doesn't necessarily have any other ideas what they'd be, and she just like continues to hold the gun on you. And she, I don't see any good reason why I should trust you. 3 prisoners coming here, bloody, breaking into my home, looking for such to steal. Covered in blood, probably gotten all kinds of mayhem and mishap.
Can I discern realities on her? Sorry.
Yes.
Dang it. Okay.
That was Anna.
Yeah, it's
Oh, sorry. Can I take the 8?
I will say first to 10. It was the first roll. What was the result of that?
It would have been a 9 because I have -1 on my int.
You guys have been like getting a lot of 7 to 9s.
Yeah, that's really not.
I
Okay.
got one more thing up my sleeve.
Okay.
I say, all right, look, you're right. You can have everything I got. I got 50 cents to my name. You take that, and we'll be on our way.
And she said, at that point, she does genuinely smile. Like, she gives, like, despite herself, does sort of laugh. Like, yeah, 50 cents, I could get more of that for selling these here boots. She does, like, sort of narrow her eye. I don't want to kill you, boys, but I don't need no trouble, and I need the money. But before you could even say, she narrows her eyes anymore. Any of you boys ever kill anyone? Sort of out of the blue, she asks that.
This is why I wanted to discern realities. Like, is she does she seem really strong in her decisiveness? Is the gun shaking at all? Is she put? This is why I wanted to discern realities.
Okay. No, I mean she doesn't immediately, like, she's not like she's very much on edge, but she doesn't seem like she seems like she's used a gun before, at least.
Right.
Oh,
Cormac
Cormac just answers, "Yep."
And then
Nice one.
I would reply, not intentionally. Had some good men die. Seen them die. Wasn't able to save them.
I will say I don't kill anyone I didn't have to. There was a mishap. Hey, we don't have to go over the fact that we don't have to go over the Goomba Stomp incident.
She points her gun at Magnus. How about you? You kill someone?
You ever look someone in the eye and watch the life leave their eyes? And he kind of calls her bluff and sort of steps closer, like really just pinning her with his eyes.
She immediately while keeping the gun trained on you and trigger on the figure, kicks you hard in the groin.
Nice.
Do you try and dodge out of the way of the lady holding the shotgun trained on you? Or do you let her take the kick?
I want Magnus to be cool, but let's be realistic.
So are you actually, well, here, you can defy danger con, endure. It's just a kick.
Just
Try and-
yes, hold this.
No.
I was hoping for a 7-9 result of he just holds it together for 5 seconds and then just tears.
Criminals.
Yeah, she digs into you with your boot, and you immediately, all breath is knocked from your body, and you, sink back down in pain, dragging the other two with you.
All right, miss. That's in your right. I believe you were right to do that. Now, Margaret, you did not have any authority to approach you like that. I'm terribly sorry.
While he's addressing her, I just look at Magnus and just say, should have just said yeah.
She's keeping the gun on Magnus. She said, "You boys think I ain't seen that 6-shooter? Give me the gun."
I reach over with my hand. I do, just while he's scrunched over, I hand over the 6-shooter. I basically pull it from the holster and do that.
Thanks.
She does take the gun and she pockets it herself.
If you wanted to kill her, this is your chance. While she's got her one hand on the shotgun and one hand holding the 6-shooter in a weird way, this is your opportunity.
Should I do it? I mean, it's the problem is range at this point as well. Yeah. She's still close, so
she's pocketing the she is pocketing the 6-shooter as she's keeping the shotgun. But I will say, as the second you hand the gun, she does seem to visually relax. She is still holding the gun, but she doesn't look like she's half a second away from making Linstrel a new character.
I'm gonna say let's not antagonize. I'm gonna back down on that thing. I think the situation has diffused a little bit. Maybe. It's gone from me thinking I want to use my cold shot to let's just see if we can move on, or if she's willing to... With that question, I'm willing to think she's gonna offer something in return for us not fucking, making trouble. Maybe.
All right, yeah. So I look back at her. I'm like, all right. You've we're just right. You mind if we just be on our way?
You boys are at my mercy and will most certainly not be on your way. Now, hands up, all of y'all's.
It's kind of tricky, what with the chains and all, but I say trying to raise my hands.
Well, no, you can still raise them up. You just can't pull them apart.
Magnus's arms are yanked up by the other two.
Yeah. So while keeping her gun more trained at Magnus and Cormac, she does sort of eye Loomis. You say you talking about saying people. You a doctor or some such?
Yeah, I'm a doctor.
And she's sort of eyeing Cormac and his really bad facial wound. And I back up against that there wall. And there's actually no against that there post, and there is just sort of a freestanding post in the middle of.
Yeah, I comply.
All right, and she hands up and put your hands together over that, indicating Cormac and Magnus. Raise your hands and put them together over that there post.
Yeah.
All right. So she then now you, Dr. Man, and she nods her head towards a hammer and nail on the counter. Put that nail in them their chains and nail them to the post.
Loomis, I think at this point, is exasperated and just kind of sighs and says, "Look, what do you want with us, right?
You want to fix up your friend's face or not? I don't need him bleeding all over my floor, but I will open fire if I feel the need to."
I think Loomis is just frustrated at this point, and I think he just snaps his fingers and gives Cormac 5 HP.
Ooh,
Wow. Damn.
wow.
Magic.
Yeah, just
Magic.
suddenly, Corac's isn't looking quite as bad as he was. You know that
Yeah, the
feeling.
wound starts closing and all that.
What?
And I'm like, look, I'm a doctor by trade, and typically I don't have to do that sort of thing, but you ain't giving me much option.
And she narrows her eyes. So, what sort of tarnation of buffoonery? Which
How? Oh no, go on, Austin.
Sorry, that's ain't no buffoonery. That would be magic.
How close is she to us at this point?
She's a bit further back. You know, she's, I would say, within reach.
Are you still thinking I should do the cold shot with a knife? Because that could go horribly wrong if I miss.
No, I'm not thinking you should do the cold shot because we're going to end up with a whole load of buckshot through the face.
Yeah, and a bunch of cops coming down on the place where they hear the buckshot. So.
I want to do some. I want to disarm her, but our rolls today have not been going to plan.
Yeah, this is getting really frustrated, and I want to kill her, but I'm not going to.
But she does eventually say, I don't need no cops snooping around this here barn or this here house. Especially no got and she sort of spits at this point. Some fat orc pigs rooting around, looking in my drawers, looking in my business. You boys say you killed someone?
Yeah.
And she sort of like shifts a bit awkwardly. One night, I can keep you boys here one night, keep you from no their cops. They know not to come in here. They know not to come up in this here town. But you boys be chained down. You ain't going nowhere, no how for tonight. You hear me?
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's
I'm
about the
leaving.
best offer we could get.
Magnus wheezes and clambers to his feet and shrugs.
She sort of like inhales deeply, like she's considering something. Right, over here now. And she like indicates for you guys to back towards a pile of hay.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
assuming you do so. So yeah,
Yeah.
As you sort of, she indicates for you to sit back in there, and she's going to like get this like a railroad tie, like a big, railroad spike,
Wow.
and trying to keep the gun trained on you as best she can, but she does eventually have to sort of, she drives it into the ground as best she can with her left hand, gets a hammer, and is sort of awkwardly trying to hammer it into the ground with you guys keeping the gun trained on you. Clearly a bit nervous, but the fact that she's doing this alone, so she's, not too worried about you guys suddenly making a break for it.
I think Loomis actually helps by holding the spike in place.
She sort of almost says thank you, but sort of like is embarrassed, blushes a bit, and like sort of mutters about not needing help, but quietly enough that she clearly doesn't want you to, like she wants you to, but she appreciates the help. Once she gets it suitably, hammered down, she like does a sideways whack, bending it so you can't just take the chain off, obviously. And she says, right, I'll be back in the morning. I'll wash you boys off, give you a change of clothes so you don't get caught the second you walk out the door, and get you some breakfast. And she sort of eyes you guys for a while, and then just sort of sees how like wet and whatnot you are, and sort of mutters, "It'll be cold tonight." Turns her back, walks away a bit, then comes back with a very, very rough, not really a blanket, more just like a sheet that was lying over one of the tables, and tosses it over you boys. I'll be back before sunrise. If I find anything out of place in this here barn, I kill one of you. And
Fair
then
enough.
she slowly backs out of the barn, bolts the door. She walks around and like bolts the windows too from the outside. So there's a little bit of light creeping in from the second floor now. And that is the last you hear for any immediate amount of time.
All right. Magnus, you come over here. Let me see that face of yours.
Magnus lets out a sort of wheezing sigh through his nose and goes like, "Today could have gone better."
Yeah,
Alright, so-
well,
Elliot-
You guys were going to be sent to prison today. The hell is that?
I was going to say, I was about to say, is you saying that, and he's going to examine his face. Cormac just announces, "Well, I'm going to sleep. Good night," and just tries to go to sleep. I think Cormac has just very quickly accepted this set of circumstances. There's not much other option.
All right, so I'm doing first aid. When you take a moment to see someone's physical wounds, roll plus int. On a 10 plus, you may hold 3. You may spend 1 hold to recover D8, 2 hold to be cured of poison or disease, and 3 hold to remove a debility. So I can just heal you, or you can choose how to spend that.
Well, I'm sure on one of those D8 they'd be healed up to full.
So you're good.
Yeah, and you have your skull. You have the cloth that she gave you, the big sheet, isn't it's dusty, but it's not really dirty. I mean, it's about as sanitary as anything you'll find in a barn. Sort of help clean you up.
No, I just grab some hay and smack it on his face. You'd be fine.
And yeah, throughout the night, you do notice, though, if you stay awake at all, you do hear barking and whistling in the distance, but they do seem to be keeping away from this immediate area. They're not, coming into this sort of clearing. Do you want to do the next morning, or do you want to do end of session? We started a little late.
I can do either.
I
Good
got work tomorrow, sadly.
Alright, so you want to do end of session?
Yeah.
Alright.
Much as I
Here we are. The Great Escape. Woohoo. So. End of session.
Did we learn something new and important about the world?
We got bonds and alignment first.
Yeah. Did you form any bonds?
Oh yeah.
I'm writing mine down. I will be with you momentarily.
I'll
do
be
know-
with you momentarily.
I just gotta think of the wording on these two. Magnus is easier than Loomis. Rather, Margrave is easy.
What's that supposed to mean?
It's just that display at the end it might have not given you the cool factor that you want yet. You gotta work your way up to that.
I really did want him to pull off something cool, but then I decided he's supposed to be Ocelot. That is entirely in character for what would happen to him. That is exactly what would happen to him. That's just how it goes. Poor guy.
This one's gonna change. I feel it might be worded way more harshly than I intend, I'm afraid.
All right. I got mine too. So my first one is Magnus seems a little on edge. Let's see if I can soften that. And then Cormac's is Cormac has a reputation that precedes him. Does he actually live up to it?
You saw me knife a giant thing to death.
It's true.
My two are... I don't know, I might change the wording on this again. It just sounds so incredibly patronizing. Margrave isn't quite clear on the man he is, and so late in life as well. And Loomis is a smart seaman guy. Wonder why he was in jail.
And Magnus, do you have any?
I'm building it now.
Gotcha.
My alignment sucks, so okay, I'm gonna fucking just drop this out.
Excuse me, your alignment sucks? Mine is difficult.
Well, here's the thing. My class is class warfare class. and the alignments in that suck. They're all terrible. But I know it's a bit more. It's a bit more unfair in your case because I can tell you're playing, I believe, the doctor or the medic class. How much?
Yeah, I'm a medic.
Really obvious. But all the warrior alignments, there's just a lot of them, and they're all just written to be as generic as possible. But genuinely, my alignment is defeat an enemy without getting close to them. I might change that. It sucks, but there's not many great options.
Yeah.
Mine is avoid or escape from trouble without resolving it.
That sucks.
Yep.
That seems antithetical to role-playing as just...
Yeah.
I don't know. I've had characters who that would be a good that would have been a better fucking alignment for Heather's space than what she had.
Oh yeah.
My alignment is pride and glory, which is leave a foe with a parting shot they'll remember you by, over verbal or physical. Now, technically speaking, she was the one who got the parting shot.
I mean, you left a verbal parting shot. She might remember the guy she kneed in the groin who was just trying so hard to be cool. I feel you may have fulfilled your lot. I would argue there's a case to be made.
Yeah, my bonds are Loomis seems to be a man of honor and a veritable surgeon. What will he do when he discovers my past? And Cormac is a fighter to the end. I'd be glad to have him by my back.
It's funny, when I was thinking of Cormac, I think I explained it to Em as well, as he was going to be more reserved, but I don't know. I just felt like playing him as more bloodthirsty, or more... Especially because you two decided to play old people. I was like, okay, I'm going to make him a bit more aggressive and a bit more violent.
Don't worry. I can tell people. Let's see, because I got that thing when I successfully spout lore on something. My damage goes from a D4 to a D10.
Wow.
Yep, that is the medic becomes lethal when in certain circumstances, especially because the other move to that one just kind of sucks unless you have a lot of prep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Did we learn something new and important about the world?
Oh, question.
Yeah, question.
Could you say that we did not resolve the bearman encounter? We just kind of left him for dead.
Yeah, I'll give you that, because there could potentially down the line be consequences to you not finishing the job there.
Yeah, that's a level. All right.
Oh, not to mention, I'm going to say as well, there was a lot of stuff we left in a way unresolved. We left the body out in the open. We didn't investigate every corpse. We left the shotgun on the other side of the bank. There was a lot of stuff we just didn't have the time or resources to...
Was there realistically anything that we could have done to get the shotgun or get across the river?
If we'd just been dumb enough to afford it, or maybe look around for a boat of some fashion or a way to cross by creating a bridge.
Yeah.
But we were mobility-wise compromised and...
Crippled mobility, time crippled. There was not really any realistic time.
I will say, since that was a guaranteed a shotgun is over there, yeah, it probably would have been a bad idea to go for it, but no, you guys definitely could have gotten to the other side of the river. There were a few things you could have done. Anyways. So, did we learn something new and important about the world?
We learned there's a hidden town in the forest where the cops won't tread, even state troopers.
It's not hidden. It's just...
We learned about the drought. That could affect some other stuff later on.
There you go.
I mean, I think my point also does still stand that we did learn about a town, hidden or not, that they won't touch.
Fair enough. I'll let you take a point.
I leveled up.
Did we overcome a notable monster or enemy?
Yeah.
You betcha.
Alright. Did we loot a memorable treasure?
And then we promptly got rid of it.
Yeah. I should have just fucking shot her.
I
Hey,
feel that
hey.
would have gone really poorly. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did we
maybe.
have... And did we have a good time?
Hell yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, take an XP for that.
Wait, did we
Woohoo.
count the revolt? Did we count the 6-shooter as memorable? loot?
No.
Okay.
Oh. We
I
made
did
a
it.
buck 50.
I leveled up and then some.
I've got.
Yeah, I imagine.
Oh my goodness, that was yeah.
Yeah.
We floundered quite a lot that game.
Yeah, we did. That was rough.